Alright guys, today we are playing TrainClicker Idle Evolution. It's a game that just came out on Steam February 12th, 2021. It's supposed to be a relaxing idle train game. Now the challenge with this game is the trains barely move if you don't click. So either you get stuck having to physically sit there and click, like if you can see, anytime the light blue mile per hour thing shows up, that's me physically clicking to make the train go. The yellow is the idle speed. So you could play it on idle, but it would be so very slow. So it's not, I'm going to say it's not really so much an idle game, or that's not the focus. So the idea of this game is to basically progress by going level through level, gaining experience. I can see up in the top of the screen the yellow bar where it's level 4, level 5, and that allows you to progress through the various stages of the game. Basically you have to get your train from one end of the screen to the other. Some of the later stages are longer, so it takes you longer to get across the screen, but at the beginning here it's just across the screen, back and forth. When you do that, you gain money and you get experience. So every 5 levels, they have a bonus level where it's a time challenge. You have so much time to complete the level. And when you do, you get a big bump in gold. So it can be the difference from you being able to afford new train cars, afford to upgrade your train, etc. So this does have some upgrading elements, or some reason for getting all this money. You can get new train cars, and every train car you have gets you more money. You can upgrade your engineers, which give you different bonuses, and they have different abilities. And you can build longer and longer trains, provided you have bigger and bigger engines. So all in all, you're progressing through to try and get a bigger train, get bigger and better, faster and faster as you progress through the game. Now this game, each stage, if you've noticed, is a little bit different. The tracks downhill, some's up a hill, some has weird weather, and so there is some variety. If you play this through, like the way it works is there's 100 levels to go through, and going through the 100 levels you'll see some diversity, but then what happens is the game rolls back over to level 1. So all of a sudden you're back at seeing the same things over again. It's as much as your drive is to upgrade and get a bigger train and be bigger, better, make more money. I don't foresee this game being one of those things that you would play over and over again. You would push through and get your levels in, get your upgrades, and get to the end basically, or to a point where you've had enough of this kind of a game. It also doesn't seem to be one of those auto clickers or that kind of game where you can shut it off and come back, say a day from now, and you'll have a day's worth of progress. This game's pretty dependent on you playing and playing and playing. So the neat thing is you can level up your engineers. They have their own set of abilities and power bonuses. So for example, the first guy you get gives you more passive speed, so he's more likely to keep the train moving faster. Some of them have other abilities where they improve the clicking speed, and they gain levels as you go through the game as well. So there's some progression. They also each have their own set of special abilities, which you can use throughout the game to help either speed up the train moving or modify the game in other ways. So we're going to jump here to the end. So we're looking at the last few levels of the game to give you an idea of what to expect here. So we're at level 100, and basically you run through it, and at that point in the game your train can go very fast. You don't have to worry about running out of time, and it actually, in some respects, even though it should be getting harder as you play along, it actually gets easier. Yes, there's still a lot of tedious clicking. Like I actually played, to make this video here, I played I think an hour and a half to get from level 0 to level 100 and loop over. So a little bit of a time investment or a time suck, but I mean, if you're sitting around and doing nothing, maybe this is the kind of game for you. It certainly could have been a mobile game. I mean, based on the gameplay and how this works, like, I mean, all you would have had to do is mash on the screen and tap, 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 and make it work. So, I mean, if you're looking for a game to waste some time, maybe this is the game for you. It's not anything too special, and it's not anything too original. I mean, if you like trains, it might be a good choice too, but it's not, like, it's cheap, I guess. Like, price wise, we're looking at, like, right now it's $3.39 Canadian, so probably $2.99 US, which is cheap enough. So then what happens here? So at level 100, you try and race through the track, and if you notice, I'm mashing the mouse button. The train's going fast, and you only have a few seconds here to do it, but I make it with no problem. And then what happens is you collect your 20 grand, and then you can either go back and basically loop around to the next stage, which is basically another 100 levels, and you start back at level, well, I guess I have level 2 on here, or level 1, and you go back through 100 levels again. And then it's weird too, because the cost of trains and car upgrades at this point in the game is higher, and yet when you play this, like, the rewards, say for level 5 as an example, is only 1,000 gold, which is inappropriate kind of for the amount of currency you need to upgrade anything. So I don't know, it's a one of those games where you'd play, loop around 100 and probably call it a day. So maybe an hour and a half of enjoyment. So if you play this game here, I'd appreciate it if you left a comment in the comment section below. I'd like to hear your opinions on it. I mean, I found it okay, but I don't foresee myself playing it again in the future. So maybe you have a different opinion on the game, and that would be good to hear. I mean, it would help anybody watching this decide whether or not they should be adding it to their Steam library. So on that note, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you for watching today. We'll catch you in the next video.